Hello, my tubies. Welcome to my channel. Well, what a mysterious day this is because I sat here thinking about how was life created? Yeah, we have the Bible story, but I always used to ask when I was younger, if God created us, who created God? Well, this is going to be a very interesting reading. Not that I will understand it because, I just have a human brain, but let's just see what the cards have to say when we ask it some of the more important, deep, biggest mysteries ever. And that is, how was life created? And I want to be sure that I'm talking all of life. Like to me, I just can't fathom that life has always been there, although there's not time space, so we say, on the other side. So without time space, I guess without time, you can't have a beginning and an end. But let's just see what the cards have to say. So I'm just going to pull out of some unusual decks that I don't use every day. And I'm going to say, how was the very first life in this universe? How was it created? Let's see if we can understand it. You guys can help. Oh, Jesus. Look at this. You can't even make this stuff up. There is no life here, right? This is one of the few tarot cards that doesn't really have life in it. Now you see a bird? There is a bird. Normally the Eight of Wands doesn't have any life, but there's a bird with a star on the back. Okay, so you guys help me with this. You got to leave your comments. Why did I pick a deck that has life when it's normally the Eight of Wands? So Spirit was flying, and this bird has a cape with a star on it. We're going to keep going, but it seems like life started in the air, all right, in the air. Let's just say it started as air. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with that and see what happened after that. What do you guys think? This is intense. Oh. This is all wands. So far this is Seven of Wands, and now he's picking up the wand. So now the wand came from the air. We have a bird on here. What is there, a bird in every card on here? So the wands were flying in the air, and then there's a human. No, we couldn't have been created from thin air. Stop saying that. Is that what that's saying? Here's air, and then boop, there's a human. Now, really? Or we evolved from birds? Cheap. Okay, and then what? There's only a squirrel here in the woods. There's a squirrel in the woods. Wait a minute. Does this mean from another planet, and then they popped a human down here and created life for us to sustain? Are you trying to say this was from another planet and they popped a human down here? Is that what you're trying to say? That we came from some other galaxy that already had life on it? No way. That's not a net. Oh, that's a yes. That's a yes. So we were planted in this universe. Because when I pull aces, those of you who stay with my channel long enough know that every time I ask a question, if it can have a yes answer and an ace comes up, it's a yes. And here we have fish and the oceans. So I think the birds, the animals, but I think humans were plopped down, and they needed animals to survive on. So then the animals were plopped down, and we got fish in the ocean. And then what? What is that? The Hermit. It's almost like we were alone, like we were alone for a long time. The Hermit is just like, reclusive. So we were alone, but there was a light. That's interesting. And then what? Then we ate and drank too much and we got fat. Look at that. That's a gluttony, the devil. Oh, why is there snakes in there? Oh, were we created for a slave race? Come on, that's like a conspiracy theory. Are you were we created to be a slave race? Seriously? Are you serious? We were a slave race? There's a hierarchy here. In this particular deck, there's two different colored people, and I feel like there was a hierarchy here. There was a hierarchy. What would that be? Okay, I gotta get another deck. I gotta get my serious deck. I always get my universal weight deck when I need to be really serious. Like, okay, let's be really serious now. Is this true that we were plopped down here? We were flown here, like the bird flying with the wands. We were flown here from another galaxy. Was that how we got here? That's the Rainbow Bridge. Okay. Maybe you're understanding the cards differently, but to me this is over the Rainbow Bridge, and by master, here we have the ocean that's important. By masters, like kings are masters. So it was like they wanted to create did they want to create like a master race? Is that what you're saying? Strength. A strong race. But, she's somewhat trying to control the lion. So I wonder if they wanted a strong race. Why did they want the race to be strong? They could manipulate it. I think this is like we were a slave race. Are we a slave race right now? I mean, are we still slaves? That's the Hermit. We've risen above. This is like going to the top of the mountain and gaining wisdom. But that's not being trapped, thank God. What does that mean? Oh, I think this means that our civilization has risen and fallen, risen and fallen, risen and fallen. To the extent that I think our original purpose probably isn't even there anymore. Is that right? Has civilization wiped ourselves out, or somebody wiped us out and then we came back and we did that enough times that we're not a slave race anymore? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, so we can't even communicate with the people who brought us down here anymore. Wait a minute. Who brought us down here? Who created the people or beings or things or insects that brought us down here? Who created them? Who created the people that might have brought us here, the aliens or whatever you call them? From the past. So this just feels like a civilization. Like there's a compound or a civilization somewhere else. But who created them? It's almost like they were created in test tubes. And because there's flowers in these vases and he's handing a vase to her, I just feel like they were like test tubes. Test tube society. I gotta grab another deck. So I just got the Heaven and Earth deck. I'm gonna ask this one. What do we have to know about the however we were first created? What do we have to know about that? Oh God, the whole room went black. Did you see that on the screen at all? Weird. The room is going black and light and dark and light. I'm going to have to rewatch this because that'll freak me out mildly, but only mildly. Then I'll laugh about it. Dominion. This is dominion. Two of Wands. That's my foreign country. Oh, foreigners. Oh my God. Are they still watching us? They've got dominion over us. No, we're a rebel race. We don't like that. This means we're being watched. Dominion. And I just decided to grab this. What are the chances? I just decided to grab this, and here's dominion. And what are we always trying to do in the world? Take over the land. We want your land. We want to take over, there's always this battle. I think from the time humans have been on the planet, they've been battling for space. I mean, isn't it ridiculous? We have all the space on the planet, and wherever people are residing, somebody else happens to want that space or control of that space. It's all dominion. It's like that's bred into us. This is very intriguing. You've got to be kidding me. Material work. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. Wow. Well, is there any way for us to break free from this? Whatever this is? Is there any freedom? I mean, do we have any kind of freedom? Do we have freedom? Obviously, we're trapped on the planet, but King of Pentacles. So we have freedom within the planet. I feel like this is the planet, and they're watching the planet, and we have freedom within the planet. But if we get too close to leaving the planet, maybe something will be interfered with. So I'm going to just put it out here. I'm going to ask a different deck. Was there a time when in the entire universe, of all the universes, when there was no life, when there was absolutely not even bacteria? Was there a time in the history of life, whatever that means for all the universes, where there was no life? Was there a time where there was no life? This is going to be interesting. This is a deck I never use. Why do we keep getting the Hermit? We're stalked by the Hermit. My children. Don't you feel like he wants to say that? My little children. Why do you ask us such questions? This almost is like there was a lone being that hermits are alone in a cave that didn't want to be alone. So what did he do? He didn't want to be alone. So you're just saying that he didn't want to be alone, so then he created a nightmare? He got tired of being alone. Or her, could have been a her, could have been a she. And there came that's actually out of conflict. That's the Five of Wands. Out of created conflicts in the energy, like dualities and dualities and dualities. Universes, and that's another wand card, which is the spirit card. I wonder if this life was created in spirit form before it ever went physical. Was this life in spirit form without physical? They're like, you finally got something right? It's looking at me like, what do you think? Because, do you define life? Let's just pretend that there's no physical life, okay? So then let's say we have a bunch of spirits floating around, or one spirit, one master spirit. Do you consider that to be life? If it never had a beating heart or anything, and it's in spirit form, do you consider that to be life? Like if the only thing let's say that the sun somehow got formed, and the sun got formed and it's shining a light, do you consider that light to be life? There's a lot of deep questions. What do I have to know about how life is created and evolves on the planet? What do I have to know? Or we, anybody listening? Oh, just talking about the sun. Can't even make this stuff up. There's something going on with the sun. Okay. So is that core energy the sun? Is that why the Egyptians and everybody worshiped the sun? Oh my goodness, they worshiped the sun. Is the sun the first life form that there was? Is that the first, the S-U-N? The S-U-N. Oh my God. Princess of Cups. And that's like early humans. Is there a fish in that cup? Something's in the cup. That's the beginning of new life. But this is the sun. But the weird thing about the sun in this card is it's got a being in it. And it's got all the astrology symbols around it. I think there was a being. I think there was a being of consciousness. This is what I get when I ask such deep questions about this. No. You just can't make this shit up. You guys know what that says? I'm going to hold it up there. Perfected work. Perfected work. Creation is perfected work. And that's all geometry. And of course, there's no life in that picture, not even a bird. Perfected work. Huh. Wow. That's interesting. Who perfected the work? Who perfected the work? The Judgment. This is getting stranger by the minute. Is this why the people claim to see angels? Were there beings flying around and they didn't know what to do, so they knew they had wings on, and so they created like flying humans? Were these aliens flying around during early times? Or could people fly during that time? I mean, what is with the angels? Rest from strife. I couldn't read that at first. Rest from strife. Oh, that's interesting. So it feels like we could have been in air form and then went down into the physical form and then go back up into the air form. Was there a time where we could actually see those who have passed over? Is that like we could go walking around the planet and just see people that were passed away? Is that why there's kind of this, and the people passed away could float? I mean, do I have that right? The star people. No, that was the aliens. Okay, so they're telling me that was the aliens. That was the aliens from another planet. Okay, so we're from another planet. We got planted here. Are the aliens that planted us here, are they coming back to get us? Are the aliens that planted us here, are they coming back to get us? And of course, this is for entertainment purposes only, not meant to offend anybody's Bible beliefs. Blended pleasure. Ooh. By the way, there is a hand on that cup. See the hand offering to the human, and the human's asleep? Are they coming to get us? And there's going to be an offer. This is going to be interesting. There's an offer for help. The human doesn't see it. Are they going to come onto the planet where we can see them? Are they going to come onto the planet where we can see them? Maybe they're invisible people. Princess of Wands. So there we go with another wand. Everything's burning up. Why is everything burning around her? And that's wands is the spirit. Oh, I wonder if they're like, if they don't have physical bodies. If they don't have physical bodies. You know, I'm thinking they don't have physical bodies. That's why the human by the tree couldn't see them. That's why it's just a hand. offering. Well, even if they came, they're invisible. It wouldn't do us any good at this point when we're in physical form and they're not in physical form. That's this bizarre. Okay, what's the final thought on this before my brain hurts from going too deep? Perfected success. Perfected success. We're just supposed to be happy and not worry on. Well, here we got a rainbow bridge again, but this is supposed to just be happy and enjoy your time here. That's what I'm getting out of that. It's like, stop asking so many deep questions and just enjoy your time here. Stop worrying about how you got here. You're here. Now enjoy your time while you're here. That's like the bigger message here. Anyway, this is kind of fun. I love diving into things like this because I just keep an open mind. What do I know? If you saw anything in the cards that I didn't see, let me know, because this is one rabbit hole that you could go down for days.